सभासद माननीय सभापति जी।
Now, papers to be laid on the table. Dr. Jitendra Singh.
Deputy Chairman, sir, with your kind permission, I lay on the table of the House papers listed against my name at serial number 1 in today's revised list business. Thank you.
Dr. Mahendra Nath Pandey.
सर, मैं आज की कार्यसूची में महेंद्रनाथ पांडे की उनके नाम के सामने उल्लिखित दस्तावेज को सभापति पे रखना चाहता हूं।
Now, honorable members, I have to inform that the Business Advisory Committee in its meeting held on the 31st of January 2017 has allotted time for government business as follows. Now, business discussion on motion of thanks on the President's address. Time allotted 12 hours. Number 2, general discussion on the Union Budget 2017-18. Time allotted 16 hours. Point of order. No? What is it? Yes. Oh, 1 second. Not. What is the point?
The privileges of the members are the respects to the former members. And the passing away of any former member will have an emotional attachment with the house. And Shri Puttapaka Radhakrishna, who was member of this house, has passed away in January 2nd week. So far, the house has not taken note of his passing away, or no condolence has been
Okay.
In this regard, I seek only one point. I seek Deputy Chairman Sahab, let this system from the police and revenue to communicate to you within 48 hours
it will be taken note of.
The passing away of the particular member.
Agreed. If it has,
that you can ensure.
Yeah, if it has not been brought to the notice of the Secretariat, it must have missed. Since you have brought it to the notice, it is taken care of. Now,
For this, an administrative mechanism has to be adopted for the country.
Okay, sit down.
The proper
All right. Your
communication from the police and
suggestion is
revenue
noted.
authorities has to be recorded.
Your suggestion is
so that
noted.
it will be observed properly.
Your suggestion is noted. Sit down. Sit down.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, we will take note of that. Okay. Sri Derrick O'Brien. Okay.
Sir, it was our concern when the debate on demonetization was happening, sir, between the 16th of November and
This is your 267, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
between the 16th of November and the 16th of December, that the entire opposition parties, 15, 16 parties, we were meeting every day, and there was a joint effort to highlight the pain caused by demonetization. There were deaths caused. As of now, 135 people have died. There were other very serious issues to the economy and people were suffering. Sir, so there were 15 opposition parties who were there. And sir, if you check the records of the Rajya Sabha, on the 24th of November at 2:40 p.m., it was mentioned there, sir, in a speech, saying that we can oppose demonetization in a democratic way because we have different views. The opposition had a different view, the government had a different view. But because we are opposing demonetization, that cannot be made the excuse, at that time we said, to send your agencies after us and to scare us, sir. We mentioned this on 24th of November, that political vendetta cannot be used against the opposition. Sir, and exactly what we feared has happened. 24th of November, we said, don't do political vendetta because we are opposing you. Lok Sabha leader of Trinamool Congress with 34 and 1246 MPs was called and arrested on 3rd of January, sir. Sir, 3rd of December. Sir, within 1 month of speaking, this is happening. Today it has happened to Trinamool Congress. Tomorrow it can happen to any member of any of the 15 opposition parties, sir. This is a very serious issue. Sir, this is a very serious issue. Sir, 1 minute. Sir, political differences we can have. That's no problem with political differences. But since we flagged this on the 24th of November, the demonetization, Mamata Banerjee was the first person to flag it. 1.5 hours after the announcement was made by the Honorable Prime Minister on the 8th of November, not only Trinamool Congress, all opposition parties together were united on this. why is this political vendetta happening? Why is this political vendetta happening? What are we coming to, sir?
Okay, okay.
No, it's not about okay, sir.
You,
Please,
you
let me
made your
finish.
point.
Sir, it is not about okay. Sir, please. Demonet. No. Sir, 1 minute.
No,
I will make a request. There are two notices
Listen,
today.
now-
No, 1 second, sir. There are two notices today.
No, let
My
me-
colleague was given.
let me-
135
no,
people
let-
have died. Not even a word from this government.
No.
Not even one word. Sir, not even one word from this government. When we told the Prime Minister, the Honorable
No.
Prime Minister was sitting there, the leader of the House was sitting there, and we made it very clear, do not do political vendetta. The
Okay.
more you do political vendetta, the more we will firm our resolve
Derek-
to fight you on demonetization.
okay, Derek ji.
No, sir.
No, please sit down.
Sir,
Derek ji. No, Derek.
no,
I have, आप बैठिए. Derek, Mr. Derek, please. No, Mr. Derek, please listen. No, you sit down, Mr. Derek, please. अरे आप बैठिए, I have not permitted you. You please sit down. I have not allowed you. Sit down. I have not allowed you, Mr. Derek. See, please.
No,
Yeah.
speaking from Odisha, let him speak then.
No.
These are same issue.
I know, same issue I have not allowed. Listen,
Acha.
I have allowed you because...
Sir, you allow me for...
No, listen,
motion.
let me make it clear.
Yes, sir.
You listen, I have allowed you because you have given a notice under Rule 267. I have not admitted that notice. I only allowed you to say about your notice so that I will take a decision whether to admit it or not. So now you conclude, no, I have not allowed to move it. You can move it only if I allow it. Now, let me complete. Now, have you said all what you have to say on this?
Sir.
No, I have to take a decision.
I only have to say one more thing.
Yeah,
I only have to say one more thing.
please. I will allow you after this. Then
sir,
only,
bolo.
only no.
Sir,
Only
I'm
he
yielding
can
to
say,
Mr.
then I will.
I'm yielding.
No, I am not.
I'm yielding.
You are yielding, but I am not yielding.
Okay, sir.
I am not yielding.
Sir, then I'll read the motion.
Yes.
Let me read the motion.
No, I am not
Let
allowed.
me read the motion.
I am not allowed.
Let me read the
I am
motion.
not allowed.
मामले में अगर कोर्ट ने कोई
I have
फैसला
not
किया है,
allowed.
तो उस कोर्ट
My
के फैसले से
motion.
सरकार का क्या
This
मतलब है?
house.
I have not allowed you. Sit down.
यहाँ चर्चा होगी
I have not allowed you. Sit down. What are you doing? I have not allowed. Nakwidi, sit down.
This house.
No, I am not allowed. No.
Indulging
I am not allowed. No.
and
It
misusing
will not go on
the
record. I have not allowed. It will not go on record. I have not allowed. It will not go on record. I have not allowed. Not allowed. I am not allowed to move the motion.
Witch hunting indulged by the government, we are staging a walkout.
That is okay. Yeah. Now it is over. No, that's over. I am not allowed it.
देश को मैसेज करप्शन और स्कैम के मामले में कोर्ट का निर्णय है, सरकार का निर्णय नहीं है। और करप्शन और स्कैम के मामले में पूरा देश जीरो टॉलरेंस नीति के साथ काम कर रहा है और जो भी करप्शन और स्कैम या चिट फंड के मामले में जो भी उसमें दोषी है, कानून अपना काम करेगा। इसमें सरकार का या पॉलिटिकल वेंडेटा कहां से आ जाता है?
Okay, sit down. Okay. Now, here our submission, Sri A.K. Selviraj.
Respected sir, I wish to raise a matter of illegal and unauthorized construction of 6 check dams by Kerala government across river Bhavani. Bhavani river is a major tributary of river Kaveri. Our Honorable Chief Minister, Thiru O. Pannirselvam, had taken up this issue with the Honorable Prime Minister through a communication dated 24/1/2017 and urged the Union government to intervene and stop the construction activities of check dams by Kerala government. Sir, the construction works of check dams is going on across the river Bhavani at Tekuvate and ground works are at full swing at Manjikandi and Padivayal, areas which will affect the natural flow of river Bhavani to Tamil Nadu. The states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka filed special leave petitions before the Honorable Supreme Court against the order of the tribunal. The case is fixed for hearing on 7/2/2017. Further, Kaveri Management Board has has not yet been constituted by the Union government for the effective implementation of the final order of the Kaveri Tribunal. Therefore, the entire matter is sub judice before the Honorable Supreme Court. The Kerala government has not informed the Tamil Nadu about the details of the scheme and has not even obtained prior concurrence of the government of Tamil Nadu, violating the final order of the tribunal before construction. This is against the order of the Kaveri Tribunal. So, sir, several lakhs of people along River Bhavani in major districts like Coimbatore, Tirupur, Erode and other districts along River Kaveri are affected, who are entirely dependent for drinking water and irrigation on rivers Bhavani and Kaveri. Therefore, I urge upon the Union government to direct the Kerala government to stop immediately the illegal and unauthorized construction activities for 6 check dams across River Bhavani at Teku Vattai, Manjikandi, Padavai, etc. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Eh? You are associating or opposing?
No, we are supporting.
Eh? You are supporting? Okay, all the names, all the names which support will be included, may be added. Yes. आपका सब नाम लिस्ट में आएगा. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. All right. CP yes. CP Narayan also support? No? Eh? You are opposing or supporting? No?
Agreement to share Kaveri.
Arey Baba, the first you say you support or oppose.
Agreement to care.
No. There is no provision to oppose. You can only associate. Sit down. No. You can only associate. Sit down. You can
take 8 MLD of water. Take you only that.
Then see 0 hour you can only associate. There is no provision to oppose. Sit down.
When there is a misrepresentation of
You
fact.
give another notice.
Yes.
You give another notice. Yeah. Otherwise, your name will be written as associating. Sit down. Give another notice. Okay. Sit down. Yeah. Yes, associating. Tiruchi show also associating. Yeah. Yes. See, Srimati Kanimoli also support. Associating. All right. No problem. Now, Srimati Kanimoli. Are आपका नाम भी yes. Please include that name also. Yeah. Yes. You also want to be included? No. Now, Srimati Kanimoli.
Sir, I'd like to bring to the notice of this House about an oil spill which has happened near Kamarajar Port in North Chennai on the 29th of January. On the 29th of January, after the spill, the port authorities had given a press release saying that there is no damage to the environment like oil pollution and no casualty or injury to the persons. And on the 31st, there is another press release by the port authority saying that Chennai Port has taken up measures for cleaning of oil spillage aftermath of 2 vessels which has collided near the Kamarajar Port. This is 3 days back. So, I'd like to bring to the notice of this House that there is the different organizations of the government are not coming together when a damage like this happens. And there are reports that indicate around 35 kilometers of the Chennai coastline has been polluted and marine life, including turtles and fish, have died, and the ecosystem has been irreparably damaged. The livelihood of fishermen and their health and safety are of concern. There is a confusion whether the Coast Guard or the Kamarajar Port Authority should lead the cleaning operations. Initially, the Coast Guard used 2 submersible pipes to remove the oil. At some point, the workers of the port and locals were scooping out oil using buckets. There is a clear lack of coordination between the Coast Guard, Kamarajar Port authorities and the Fishing Ministry. We don't have enough trained personnel to manage situations like this. And in the 2013 Coast Guard report, it is said that there is a lack of preparedness on the part of the port officials because they cannot respond to the Tier 1 and Tier 2 situations. There are only 10 people who are trained. The news reports have also shown that a lack of trained personnel and specialized equipment have slowed down the efforts. Citizens and local fishermen and volunteers are trying to help in the situation, which demands urgent intervention by the union government. The Coast Guard, who are overseeing the cleanup work, are saying that the oil spill is limited to 1,500 meters. And initially they said it was just 1 ton of oil, but now environmentalists are saying that it is no less than 20 tons at least. And I'd like to also bring to the notice that this is actually a time of nesting by the olive ridley turtles from December to May. So
Time over. Time over. Time over. What can I do? Okay. All right. Now, no, it will not go on record. It will not go on record because that is the rule. That is the rule. What do I do? That is the rule. Yes. Yes, all those who associate. Yes. All the names should be added. All right. Srimati Viplav Thakur.
माननीय उपाध्यक्ष जी, आज मैं इस सदन में एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय उठाने जा रही हूँ। ये विद्यार्थियों के जीवन का सवाल है। जो यहाँ पे भारत में कोचिंग सेंटर्स चल रहे हैं, विशेषकर कोटा राजस्थान में, जहाँ पे MBBS के बच्चों के लिए, IIM के लिए, MBA के लिए और कंप्यूटर साइंसेस वगैरह के लिए कोचिंग सेंटर चलाए जा रहे हैं और बच्चों के ऊपर इतना स्ट्रेस डाला जा रहा है, उनके जो इनिशिएटिव है उसको खत्म किया जा रहा है, उनको आगे बढ़ने के लिए, फर्स्ट क्लास लेने के लिए, डिस्टिंक्शन लेने के लिए उनके ऊपर इतना भार डाला जा रहा है कि बच्चे जो है, पेरेंट्स भी उसमें उनका साथ देते हैं, उन इंस्टीट्यूशंस का, कोचिंग सेंटर्स का, जिससे कि बच्चे मजबूर हो रहे हैं आत्महत्या के लिए। 18 साल का बच्चा, 19 साल का बच्चा जिसने जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं देखा है, जिसको एक ही ऑब्जेक्ट दिया जा रहा है कि तुमने पढ़ना है, नंबर लेने हैं और कोचिंग लेके इन इंस्टीट्यूशंस में जाना है, जहां की परसेंटेज जो है 99% जा रही है, 90% जा रही है। मुझे समझ नहीं आता कि वो कैसे हो रही है। और हमारे बच्चे उस एम्बिशन के लिए, चाहे वो पेरेंट्स की एम्बिशन है, चाहे वो उन कोचिंग सेंटर्स की एम्बिशन है, उनके ऊपर भार डाल दिया जाता है। वो अंडर स्ट्रेस आके जो है सुसाइड कमिट कर रहे हैं। कोटा में विशेष करके न्यूज़पेपर्स में आया है कि 100 से लगभग लोग, बच्चों ने जो है सुसाइड कमिट की है। तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि एक शिक्षा मंत्री जी को इसके बारे में गौर करना चाहिए। ऐसा हमें अपने शिक्षा का जो स्तर है बदलना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, आज कॉम्पिटिटिव जमाना है, आज कंपटीशन में ही आगे बढ़ा जा सकता है, पर उसको इतना महत्व नहीं देना चाहिए कि हमारे जो भोले भाले बच्चे हैं, जो उसमें अभी जिंदगी में उन्होंने आगे बढ़ना है, कुछ देखना है, उनको मरने पे जो है वो कंपेल किया जा सके, उनके मन में इतना भार पड़े और वो ये सोचते हैं कि अगर हमने नंबर नहीं लिए तो हम कहाँ जाएंगे, हमारे माँ बाप क्या कहेंगे, हमारे जो कोचिंग सेंटर्स के लेक्चरर्स हैं, प्रोफेसर हैं, वो क्या कहेंगे, वो उसमें आके आत्महत्या कर लेते हैं। तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी, ये ध्यान लाना चाहती हूँ कि सदन का, कि हमें इसके ऊपर गौर करना है। इसके लिए कुछ ऐसा कानून बनाया जाए कि वो कोचिंग सेंटर्स की जो है रिव्यू होना चाहिए, उनके ऊपर जो है एक तरह का इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए कि वो किस तरह के कोर्सेज देते हैं, कितने घंटे बच्चों को जो पढ़ाते हैं और उनकी जो एक्टिविटी
See, this is as Honorable HRD Minister is not here, but Venkaiah ji is here. And I see this is a matter of very serious concern. The number of students, you see the parents put a lot of stress on the psychological stress on the children, and then the children are being sent to such institution. The stress the students cannot bear, and the students commit suicide, and this is not only there in other. I think government should look into it and do something about it.
Sir, it's a,
Yeah,
these coaching centers are spread over across the country.
yeah.
Such reports have been reported in the media also.
Yeah.
And also the concerns expressed by honorable members, I'll talk to the HRD minister and
Yeah.
convey it to him, sir.
Yeah, please,
And ask
take
him
some.
to do the needful.
Yeah, please. That is very important. Thank you very much.
Coaching center is spread out.
Okay, thank you. The government will, yes, government will take action on this. Yeah, thank you. Now, Srimati Jarnadas Vaidya.
Thank you, sir. My zero dot situation faced by southern states of India. The South India states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, parts of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and Union Territory of Puducherry are facing severe drought. Tamil Nadu is facing a serious drought ever known in the history of state. Expecting Chennai Metro City, the whole of Tamil Nadu is in the grief of worst drought. Both of the monsoons, southwest and northeast, fell to the extent deficit of more than 62% rainfall. Lakhs and lakhs of more acres cultivated lands remain. Fallow due to scarcity of water. Lands and were cultivated with the limited water crops withered. Paddy, groundnut, cotton, corn, sugarcane, banana, including other crops withered in few lakhs acres. Sir, Kerala is experiences historical low rainfall with the southwest monsoon season, June to September 2016, reporting 34% below normal rainfall, and the northeast monsoon season, October to December 2016, reporting 61% below normal. The state government of Kerala declared the entire state as drought affected in the month of October. In Kerala, the overall storage has depleted to 47%, while the expected for the month of 90% of the storage. Groundwater depletion of reported from even water-rich segment. Karnataka received 20% below normal southwest monsoon rainfall and 62% below normal northeast monsoon rainfall. Sir, we demand the Kerala and Karnataka governments were already declared their states as drought affected. Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana governments and government of Puducherry Union Territory should immediately declare the states as drought affected. Government of India should immediately release the amount of additional assistance requested by the respective states from the National Disaster Response Fund, relaxing
She is
the
supporting you.
norm
Why do
of
you?
additional assistance.
She is.
Considering the unprecedented crisis
appreciate here.
and the deficit of rainfall in two of assistance under the National Disaster Response Fund, special assistance package for agricultural and animal husbandry sectors should be declared.
Time हो गया. Jandas Vaidya ji, time over. Vaidya ji, time over. It's not going on record, Vaidya ji. Vaidya ji, my dear sister, please, time is over. It is not going on record. Now, see, she should be appreciated. She is from Northeast, but she raised the issue of southern states. So you should not support her. Now, Sri T.K. Rangarajan.
Sir, thank you, Deputy Chairman. I would like to bring the attention of the House the very serious drought situation in Tamil Nadu, which has caused a total crop failure in entire Tamil Nadu. This has resulted 200 farmers losing their life, either due to heart attack or committing suicide. The state has recorded average rainfall as 59% to the deficit of 41%, which is the highest in the last 140 years. The Tanjavur and Nagapattinam districts, which are considered granaries of Tamil Nadu, received only 20% rainfall. This is a rainfall, there is no Kaveri water and there is no groundwater also. With Samba and Kuruvai crops failing this, the worst situation for farmers which they have never faced in the past 65 years. Many farmers in their anxiety to somehow earn their livelihood, loan from every high interest rate, and many have pledged their jewels, which are these same farmers started deepening their wells. Some purchased fertilizer, etc., but their entire investment has gone waste. Added to this misery, the demonetization, where they could not give even daily wages to the farm workers, while the Tamil Nadu government has declared all the 32 districts as drought hit. The compensation declared by them is inadequate. In this grim situation, the centre has to come forward to help Tamil Nadu with adequate compensation with a special financial package. I request the central government to immediately release substantial amount to Government of Tamil Nadu to immediately pay compensation to the affected farming community. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, as associating Vijayala Satyana, Tiruchi Shiva and all others associating. Sri Vivek Gupta. Sri Vivek Gupta. Yes. Vivek Gupta. No percent. Okay. Then what do I do? Sri V. Vijay Sai Reddy.
Sir, with your permission, I would like to bring to the notice of the government the apathy of the private pool workers of engaged by Visakhapatnam Dock Labour Board and the manner in which their life has been ruined by the concerned authorities, including Ministry of Shipping, Dock Labour Board and Visakhapatnam Port Trust. Sir, in 1985, the import of coal has gone up leaps and bounds, and Dock Labour Board had some permanent employees, and the number of permanent employees were inadequate to meet the requirement. Therefore, the Visakhapatnam Dock Labour Board has decided, with the concurrence of, with the permission of the Ministry of Shipping, started engaging the private workers to complete the unloading requirement at the Visakhapatnam Port Trust. Sir, the temporary workers, the total number of temporary workers that has been engaged at that point of time has gone up even to 1,000 number of employees. So therefore, in 1985, it was decided, because the number of employees has gone up, temporary employees have gone up as good as 1,000, it was decided to form an association. Therefore, with an understanding of the union as well as Stevedoring Association, and also with the permission of Ministry of Shipping, they have started an association by name Private Pool Workers Employees Union. Sir, in 1994, an agreement has also been executed between these associations. In 2002, some of the members of Stevedorers Association have formed a trust. Here the crux of the problem lies, sir. See, from the wages of the private pool workers, Visakhapatnam Dock Labour Board used to make some deductions in the guise of welfare of the employees, for the temporary employees, welfare of the take care of the employees. Sir, see, in 2002, Visakhapatnam Dock Labour Board, in consultation with the Ministry of Shipping, has decided that Dock Labour Board has nothing to do with the private employees that have been initially engaged by the Dock Labour Board, and this has to be entrusted to the trust that has been formed by the Stevedorers Association. Sir, from here the problem has started. See, after forming the trust, and which is managed by the Stevedores Association, some of the members of Stevedores.
Oh, okay. Time over. Next. Yes. Yeah.
In other ports also, this is a very chronic problem being suffered by the contract and casual workers.
Yeah.
Their bloods are being sucked, but the operation is continuing. So a government must seriously intervene on the basis of principle of same wage for same work.
Yeah, that's correct.
On which Supreme Court has given a judgment.
Okay, thank you. Now, Srimati Rajani Patil. Vijay Sai Reddy, it is not going on record. Vijay Sai Reddy ji, it is not going on record, then what is the point? It is already, whatever you said is already on record. You have said it well, and government has also noted it. Yeah, that's okay. That you made already, that's fine. It is there. Now, Srimati Rajani Patil.
सर, धन्यवाद सर. आपके माध्यम से मैं रेलवे में अप्रेंटिस का काम करने वाली 2000 से 2500 बच्चे और बच्चियां जिनको लाठीचार्ज हुआ कल, उनके ऊपर हुए अन्याय को उजागर करने की कोशिश करूंगी. सर, कल ही परसों राष्ट्रपति जी का अभिभाषण हो गया और जिसमें हर साल 50 लाख जो कौशल रोजगार निर्मित का अभिवचन दिया गया. लेकिन यहाँ पे जमीनी हकीकत यह है कि रेलवे में काम करने वाले जो बच्चे रेलवे में काम करने जा रहे हैं, जो बच्चे हैं जिनको अप्रेंटिस का प्रशिक्षण दिया गया है, उनको भी नौकरी से हटा दिया गया है. और जब अपना न्याय दूर करने के लिए, अपना अन्याय दूर करने के लिए जब वो निवेदन देने के लिए रेल मंत्री जी सुरेश प्रभु जी के पास गए थे, तो उन बच्चों के और बच्चों के ऊपर लाठीचार्ज करके इस सरकार ने अपनी नाकामयाबी का दर्शन किया है. सर, यूपीए के कार्यकाल में पूरे देश में कौशल रोजगार विकास अंतर्गत के कार्यक्रम के अनुसार बच्चों को अप्रेंटिस का प्रशिक्षण दिया था. लेकिन जो बच्चों को प्रशिक्षण दिया गया था उनको रेलवे में भर्ती किया जाता था. जो बच्चे रेल पटरी पे काम करते पूरे देश में, जो चाहे पंजाब के हो, चाहे गुजरात के हो, चाहे महाराष्ट्र के हो, ऐसे सब बच्चों को वेस्टर्न रेलवे में नौकरी में शामिल किया जाता था. 2013 में जब मोदी सरकार कार्यरत हुआ तब रेलवे में की भर्ती बंद कर दी गई और वेस्टर्न रेलवे, जहाँ पे सबसे ज्यादा महाराष्ट्र के लड़के हैं, 2000 से 2500 लड़के हैं, और बाकी के यूपी के, पंजाब के बच्चे हैं, उनको स्किल्ड होते हुए भी नौकरियों का बेरोजगार होने का सामना कर पड़ रहा है. जिसमें सुरेश प्रभु जी को जब निवेदन देने के लिए जब गए तो कल ही हमने टीवी पे देखा, जो 24 तास मराठी टीवी में, कि जो लड़कियां थी उनके ऊपर भी लाठीचार्ज किया गया. इतना ही नहीं तो जो प्रधानमंत्री जी के गाँव का लड़का है जो अप्रेंटिस बना है उसके ऊपर भी लाठीचार्ज किया गया. सर, नोटबंदी के कारण से हजारों लोग वैसे भी बेरोजगार हो रहे हैं. एक तरफ सरकार बातें करती है कि बेरोजगार को रोजगारी दी जाएगी, 2 करोड़ लोगों को रोजगार दिया जाएगा, लेकिन जो प्रशिक्षित है, जो कौशल स्किल्ड है बच्चे, उनको भी अगर नौकरी का हक उनका बाजू कर दिया गया तो वो अन्याय हो रहा है. मैं आपके माध्यम से रेल मंत्री सुरेश प्रभु जी, जिनके पास ये बच्चे निवेदन करने गए थे, उनको निवेदन करना चाहूंगी. जो कौशल रोजगार मंत्री है राजीव प्रताप रूडी, उनको निवेदन करना चाहूंगी. और तीसरा निवेदन मैं होम मंत्री, अपने गृह मंत्री जी को करना चाहूंगी कि जिनके पुलिस ने इन बच्चों के ऊपर लाठीचार्ज किया, इन बच्चों को न्याय देने की वो कोशिश करे. इतना ही निवेदन मैं आपसे करना चाहती हूँ.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, you associate, yes. Yeah, all those who associate name will be added. Now, Sri C.P. Narayanan.
Yes. I want to bring to the notice of the House the very difficult situation that is faced by the Kerala people, because Kerala is deficient in production of food grains, because we are traditionally concentrating on horticultural crops. Even the central government, various central governments used to assure us help in making available food grains for distribution among the people. And in the 1960s, statutory rationing was introduced in Kerala state. And then we used to get more than 20 lakh tons per month for distribution of food grains. Later, when the Food Security Act was introduced, it was reduced to 16.4 lakh tons. Now it has been reduced to another 2 lakh tons. We are getting only about 14.4 lakh tons. This is not sufficient for distribution of per head availability of 5 kg per month. Because of this, in the public market, the price of rice has gone up to more than 40 to 45 rupees per kg. Now, our Chief Minister and the concerned, the Minister of Civil Supplies had represented to
Minister should listen.
the
This
Prime
Kerala
Minister
problem,
and the
ministers
concerned
should
Minister
listen. Every
to
problem
make
you should
available,
listen. Now you are talking.
to make available the necessary quantity of grains so that the price, there can be price stability in the open market. Also, all those who are considered BPL can be given at least 5 kg of food grains per month. This is not being available, this is not being made, and because of that, all sections of people, particularly the BPL sections, are up in arms. So I request that the government immediately make available 2 more lakh tons of food grains available to the state every month. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Sriya Antony, yes.
It's a very, very serious issue for Kerala. It's a burning issue. When the statutory ration was introduced, there was solemn commitment by the Government of India that the Government of India will provide sufficient quantity of food grains to Kerala. Now that promise is broken. So I request the Government of India to take it seriously and find solution to the proposed by the Kerala government, Kerala people and the honorable members.
Yeah. खाना का problem है. खाना का problem है. Sriya, government should. Yeah.
Sir, a very important issue has been raised by our friends of Kerala in this August House, and the distribution of PDS in adequate measure is an important issue, and I will bring this to the notice of the Honorable Minister of Public Distribution, and we'll see to it that Kerala gets adequate.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Minister, for the prompt reaction. Thank you. Now, Sri Tapan Kumar Sen.
Sir, I am fortunate that Honorable Minister of Chemical and Fertilizers is present over here. My issue partially refers to his ministry as well. About 1 lakh medical and sales representatives of the country are going on strike tomorrow on 3rd February. Their demands are twofold. One, capping the medicine price based on its cost plus reasonable return, and in the name of regulation, to make the medicine price affordable to people, as Union Finance Minister yesterday also repeated in his budget speech. In the name of regulation for the affordability of the people, don't leave the medicine price to be determined as discovered from the market. It must be a cost plus reasonable return based. On that level, the medicine price must be kept. That is the first demand of the striking 1 lakh medical and sales representatives. Secondly, the tax excise duty burden on essential medicines must be made nil. Thirdly, the aggression of the multinational company to monopolize the essential medicines, that must be contained and controlled. And fourth, they have been demanding since long that medical and sales representative service conditions are guided by Sales and Promotion Employees Act. But unfortunately, after enactment, no rules has been devised to define the service conditions of the medical and sales representative. They have been pursuing since last 2 years a tripartite committee in place, but the tripartite committee is not doing anything, just sitting on the paper, and their whole inspiration of doing so, but by not defining a service condition, is to ensure ease of doing business for the pharma companies, leaving the entire sales representative employees to the anarchy of the employers. Now the medical and sales representative, this is an expanding horizon of employment in our country. In production, not that much job is there. So in this expanding horizon, if labor ministry remains so much unresponsive and insensitive, allowing the workers to be squeezed by their employers, absolutely in an anarchic manner. So this is also one of the major issues for which the 1 lakh workers are going on strike tomorrow. And I urge the Honorable Minister sitting over here to take a call on the issue of medicine price. He has made some statement also in the matter of stent.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Those who associate, all the names should be added, yes. Yeah. Srimati Vidila Satya. Why point of order now? Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, the point of order is relating and revising business, where is it transacted in this house, sir?
No.
What has been happening
you can raise,
is that, no sir.
You can raise when that business is taken up. Now it is your hour. No.
I am on this, sir. See, whatever matter has been referred again and again, I also told in the last session, कि यहाँ पर जो चीज है तो वो मुद्दे उठाए जाते हैं, उस मुद्दों के बाद में क्या होता है, nobody knows. I mean, what's happened upon the issue raised by the people and the members here? The minister simply listened to that. That's it.
They should listen.
Only the thing that we
Minister should listen. That is
we express ourselves and the things just get vanished. That's it.
Everything cannot be.
No, sir. You have to find out the solution and the mechanism with a general purpose
as far as possible,
which can make them accountable. That whatever matter has been raised, reported back to it, sir. Otherwise, no point is this, sir.
Okay.
Such an important issues have been raised.
All right.
We get satisfied that
okay, you made your point. Now sit down.
We feel we get satisfied that we have
yes.
That's it.
You made your point. Action to be taken on the issues raised. Now sit down.
Not just making a point. It's not just making
a point. It is not a point of order. It's a suggestion. Now, Mr. it is not a point of order. It is a suggestion. That suggestion is not a. Now, Vidila Satyana.
Sir,
you are replying to it? Okay. Minister is reacting to that.
मधुसूदन जी बहुत ही सीनियर लीडर हैं, उनको पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम, पार्लियामेंट्री जो नियम है उसके बारे में बहुत ज्यादा जानकारी है, इसीलिए उन्होंने कहा है। मैं आपके माध्यम से माननीय सदस्य को विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं कि जो भी एश्योरेंस, जो भी सरकार की तरफ से माननीय सदस्य को एश्योरेंस दिया जाता है, उस पर तत्काल कार्रवाई के लिए हमारे मंत्रालय की तरफ से काम शुरू होता है और उन माननीय सदस्य को भी उसकी जानकारी दी जाती है। कोई स्पेसिफिक अगर जानकारी माननीय सदस्य के पास है कि जिस मुद्दे को उन्होंने उठाया और उसके बारे में उनको जो है वो उपयुक्त या उनको जो है वो सेटिस्फैक्टरी उत्तर नहीं मिला है, तो वो हमको बताए तो निश्चित तौर से हम उस पर कार्रवाई करें।
Now listen, that's all. And no, if you are still complaining, there is an assurance committee you can approach. Sit down. Vidila Satyanath.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
He's a member. I see. If you are not satisfied, there is an assurance committee of which you are a member. Of which you are a member. You can raise there. Now, Srimati Vidila Satyanath. Sit down. Srimati Vidila Satyanath.
Our Honorable Vice Chairman for giving me this golden opportunity. We lost Amma of Tamil Nadu people. 10 crore people called her and now calling her Amma. Amma cannot be replaced. She is a personification of love and compassion, a person of enduring fame, outstanding administrator, great orator, highly intelligent and well-read person, emotionally connected to the people, worked endlessly till her last breath for the upliftment of poor people, the great charismatic People's Chief Minister, the Iron Lady of Tamil Nadu, Dr. Purachi Talevi Amma, brought all-round development of our state, Tamil Nadu, especially the bold policies and steps which has been a great boon for all the needy people and had been a role model to many states to follow. I am by the people and I am solely for the people was a strong conviction, and she sacrificed her whole life for the upliftment of women and poor. A leader of firm decision, her intelligence and governance cannot be compared with any leader in the world. She was adored for her dynamic personality by the whole people of India. Her loss has caused an irreparable loss to the people of India, especially to all the loved ones of Amma. We see millions of people paying last respects with tearful homage every day at the place where her mortal remains are laid. Even her arch rival said, "We never ever wanted her to die." So this shows her greatness. We respect that the highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, be conferred posthumously to our Amma to recognize her exemplary 32 years of public service. We urge the Centre to install her life-size bronze statue in the Parliament complex and also recommend her name for Nobel Prize for Women Upliftment and Child Upliftment. As we have all tasted her affection and kind words, those words are still afresh in my memory. A personification of complete motherlyhood. The welfare schemes to eradicate hunger, Amma Unavagam, winning praise from the poor and the daily laborers. Free 20 kilos of rice to every household. Women upliftment programs such as the Cradle Baby Scheme to stop female feticide. The Girl Child Protection Scheme, Thalikku Thangam Tittam, which gives gold and also family, the assistance for...
Okay, all right. You made your point. No, okay, sit down. Okay, thank you, welcome. Now, yes, all those associated will be added. Special mention, Sri T.K. Rangarajan.
Thank you, sir. Kaladi evacuation in Tamil Nadu. Keladi. This evacuation of Keladi, a small village in Sivaganga district near Madurai in Tamil Nadu, have successfully brought out evidence of urban settlement for flowering civilization. The civilization dates back 3rd century BC and 3rd century AD. 2 years of excavation, 2015 and 16, unearthed 1,800 antiquities. This year, 4,000 antiquities in the second year. The early historic remains in the form of elaborate brick structure, brick drums, and paved brick floor, associated grooved roof tile, terracotta, ring walls, finance, and unearthed. The treasure trove includes semi-precious stones and antiquity like iron implements, ivory discs, and black and red were undercoated. More than 70 Tamil Brahmi inscribed shed have been discovered during the evacuation. It is noteworthy to point out in that ongoing quarrying activity along with Vaigai River pose major threat to these archaeological significant sites. A lack of funds and any undue delay in carrying out the exhibition, the Keladi will make the only end of the missing golden opportunity unravel in the history. I therefore seek the intervention of Honorable Minister of State for Culture and Tourism to instruct the Central Advisory Board of Archaeology of India immediately permit ASI to resume ex-evacuation Keladi and provide necessary financial assistance to yield desirable results. I also request the established site museum on the premises of display all the items evacuated over the past months, unveiling the oldest urban civilization in South India. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. You support this?
On the grounds that the excavation near Madurai, which is my hometown, shows that it is a part of the Indian civilization, the similar excavation in Gujarat and Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. So that we were one civilization,
yes, yes,
exposing the British bogus theory of being two civilizations.
No, we are one civilization, no doubt about it. Don't go by British theory. Go by our own theory. We are one. Yes. Yes.
And as pointed out, there is no on-site museum. So most of the artifacts which have been unearthed, like one pot which they had unearthed and just left it there and they had gone for lunch. By the time they came back, somebody had just thrown a stone on a pot which was made 2,000 years ago, and it was broken. So there's no security for the objects they are unearthing. And I think an on-site museum is necessity
I
there.
think government should take note of it.
Funds are not allocated.
Agreed.
Something has to be done about that.
You would like to react?
Thank you.
Minister.
it is a-
Please. Yes. Your name will also be out.
Deputy Chairman, sir, it is a very important issue of the archaeological excavations near Madurai, and I will bring it to the notice of the Honorable Minister of Culture and Tourism, and we will do everything so that the remnants there, which have been excavated and which are going to be excavated, will be taken care.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Now, Dr. B. Maitriyan. This is why you are supported. Okay. That's enough.
No, I have given a notice, but that has not been circulated to them.
No, which notice?
As associated. I have given the same issue, sir, for special mention. My name is there in the list, but it has not been circulated.
Oh, sorry, yes, sorry. Maitriyan, sorry. Your name is there. Tiruchi Shiva, you can support. Yeah. To associate, you can associate.
No, it has not been circulated to me. Once it comes, kindly permit me also, sir.
Okay. Okay, now, Sri Maitriyan, Dr. Maitriyan.
The extremely heavy rains and subsequent floods in Tamil Nadu during December 2015 have caused enormous devastation to standing crops, property and public infrastructure, besides loss of livelihood, loss of life and cattle. Our beloved leader, Purakshi Thalaivi Amma, had requested the Honorable Prime Minister to release rupees 25,912.45 crores for complete relief and restoration efforts. The central team too had inspected and given its report on the devastations caused. But rupees 1,940.42 crores had been released so far, which is way short of the total requirements. In December 2016, caused severe damage in Chennai city and the districts of Tiruvallur, Kanchipuram and Kadalur, uprooting several thousands of trees and electric lamp posts, besides damaging the roads and other infrastructure. The Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu sought an assistance of rupees 22,573 crores from the central government to undertake reconstruction works in areas affected by the cyclone Varda. But till date, no grant was released by the centre for the Varda cyclone relief. In a federal form of government, it is the duty of the union government to consider and cater the genuine demands of the state governments. Therefore, I urge upon the union government to consider the demands of the government of Tamil Nadu, seeking rupees 25,912.45 crores as the relief grant for the devastation caused by the torrential rains and cyclone during December 2015, and rupees 22,573 crores for the severe damage caused by the cyclone Varda in December 2016, and release immediate adequate relief grants to Tamil Nadu for being devastated by two back-to-back calamities of severe nature. Thank you.
Sri Ratnivel.
Deputy Speaker, sir, the government has to release the rupees 9,000 crore to Tamil Nadu as part of the scheme scare. Certainly, sponsored schemes are towards reimbursing the money spent by the Tamil Nadu government. The government of Tamil Nadu has raised this issue of pending payments with the Union Finance Ministry during the meeting of state finance ministers recently in New Delhi. Tamil Nadu is said to get post-pre-metric scholarship funds made for settled trip students to the extent of rupees 2,011.8 crore. Similarly, in the school education department, rupees 1,200 crore need to release. Center has to reimburse Tamil Nadu to the extent of rupees 542 crore for building infrastructure for judiciary. Likewise, under the Swachh Bharat mission, an amount of rupees 602.02 crores is still pending from the government. A total amount of about the rupees 1,500 crores is yet to be released under the revised restructured technology upgradation funds scheme to entrepreneur in Tamil Nadu. An amount of rupees 280.30 crores is still pending for Tamil Nadu to put on in place in the necessary facilities for the additional 345 MBBS seats in 4 government medical colleges at Kanyakumari, Coimbatore, Tirunelveli and Majura from the academic year 2017 and 18. Sir, any delay in the release of funds sanctioned for the projects will adversely affect the success of the centrally sponsored schemes. Therefore, I urge upon the Union government to expedite the release of rupees 9,000 crores due to Tamil Nadu and to avoid any such shortfalls in the approved central share release in this future. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Srimati Vidila Satyanath.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Seeking assistance from the NDRF and other funds towards relief and rehabilitation measures for the drought-hit situation in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu received 168.3 millimeter of rainfall during northeast monsoon as against 440.4 millimeter, a deficit of 62%. Non-release of water in Kaveri by Karnataka has left a huge shortfall of 102.5 TMC feet. The water stored in Mettur Dam was grossly insufficient to save even a single paddy crop in the Kaveri Basin. The ground truthing exercise carried out by our government indicated that drought is severe in 13,305 villages. Due to the failure of southwest and northeast monsoons in the current year, the water storage position in all the water bodies is at a critical level. As against total storage capacity of 198.384 TMC feet in 15 major reservoirs, the water is only 25.742 TMC feet. The government has to provide relief to the farmers for the damages caused to the crops and to ensure drinking water through various temporary measures. Adequate fodder availability needs to be maintained to protect cattle. Employment generation programs have to be taken up immediately to ensure livelihood of the agricultural laborers. We earnestly seek an amount of rupees 39,565 crores from National Disasters Response Fund. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that Tamil Nadu experienced heavy floods in 2015 and in December 2016 heavy damages were inflicted by Cyclone Varda. Funds available in the SDRF fund is not sufficient to meet the situation. The state is in urgent need of assistance from NDRF so as to take immediate relief and restoration. Our Chief Minister has sought an urgent relief. I urge the centre to sanction 5,000 crores immediately for relief measures.
You can associate. You can associate, then Vivek Gupta.
Sir, that's fine, sir, but the copy should have been given to me earlier, sir. Even the copy is not kept on the table.
No, the point is, you have to associate.
My mention should also go on record.
That's why I said you associate.
It's a very important issue.
That's why I said you associate.
I'm associating, sir, but I should have been given the opportunity to have read it out.
No, because there was already one notice on the same subject. That is the reason.
That was not my fault, sir.
No, that was the earlier notice.
Yes, sir.
I tell you. That is why.
Maybe that. When
that was the earlier notice.
I must be, when time is abundant, had it come earlier, I would have also read it out. When everyone was associating.
No, the point is you cannot read it. Once one member is allowed, same subject you cannot read. You can only associate.
Sir, same issue is allowed on 0 hour and special mention also.
No,
sir,
that is a different thing.
No,
I am talking about special mention.
If an issue is allowed in the 0 hour, it won't be taken in the special mention. If an issue is allowed in the special mention, it will not be allowed in the 0 hour. But the same issue is allowed for both. Why not in the special mention 2 notices can be allowed?
2 notices cannot be allowed in the special mention.
Sir, this killed issue, we have also our concern, sir, which should also
I say I allowed you to associate. Then
mine should go on.
Yeah, yes. Tirichi, you are also associated, add with that. Associate means you are fully in agreement.
To me earlier, sir.
Then what difference does it make? No, it's not possible. Okay, Sri Vivek Gupta.
Allowing me to lay my special mention on the subject of inadequate number of girls' toilets in government schools in West Bengal. Sir, girl students
have access to toilet is not only a biological but a very important sociological need as well.
Better you lay it, time is over, lay it on the table.
Sir,
Lay
sir,
it
just
on the-
one line, sir.
Rishi, you can lay it on the table if you'd like, if it is special mention.
Sir, in Siliguri, out of 100
Yes,
schools, only
Vivek
5
Gupta,
girls.
lay it on the table.
And sir, out of 90.
Yeah, you say lay it on the table.
Only 6
Trichy
toilets
also.
are there, sir.
Yeah, Trichy also lay it
toilet
on the
नहीं देंगे
table.
तो बेटी पढ़ेगी कैसे, बचेगी कैसे? Thank you.
All right. Now it is time for question hour. It's time for question hour. It was a fruitful 1 hour because of order in the house. Yeah. Very good thing.